Hello, guys. So, this is the preparation for bar exams, which is happening in October 29th, on October 29th, 2023. So, I'm starting with the constitutional law. I have already enrolled for law Sikhovala bar hacker session. So, I would like to start preparing for this. So, I will show you how I am preparing, such that you can also uh, follow it if you like it. So to begin with, I'll just show you. I have joined this Lossy Kovala. So I have finished this how to prepare for bar exam and all. Plan and navigation of LMS also I prepared. Insight into Lossy Ko bar hacker program, which I don't think I need to do this. This is a big webinar for them to.
Without open books. So not setting up subjects only, getting into the details of one subject, and then in the end the pattern and the subjects have remained the same from past few years, but they're always introducing something new. So as we again paper analysis, I come back to paper analysis. So when we do paper, when we
So this is available online in YouTube. I'll share the link below. And this is only 500 bucks. If you are preparing by yourself, then this definitely is a good help. They're sharing how to actually crack the open book exam. And they are also having a lot of material which shares information about BRACs and different old question papers and all. So they have also given best method to prepare for an open book exam. They also have video which I'm watching already. So
List that, okay, supposedly you have the Keshwananda Bharti case and you specifically listed it under the constitutional law, but you need to make a specific note in front of it that what it specifically talks about. It talks about basic structure of the constitution. You need to specifically write in front of that in your list, and you can carry this list with you for the examination as well. Now, another thing that you can prepare and go beforehand is a list of legal word meaning and legal. Now the paper has a lot of times Latin legal maxims which are asked. So if you have a ready list with yourself of these maxims, you can quickly go. If there's a particular question, you can particularly go to that answer and you can prepare each subject in that particular manner.
I'm gonna write what all she is sharing. She's telling Latin magazine, Latin words. It would be nice if you can just keep a list of all the things and some landmark cases also she's telling.
You do not need to memorize anything. So remember that this exam does not require you to memorize but to understand and familiarize yourself with a lot of things. So that is what is the best method. These are certain best methods that you can go about preparing for the EIB exam. So quickly, I'm going to show you last year's paper, and we can actually analyze a set of 5 to 6 questions and understand what kind of questions these papers have, and how we can prepare them, and how my stated methods will help you in solving these questions. So I'm quickly going to show you the last year's paper here, and we can discuss one by one. Here is the last year's paper. This is the AIBE 14th paper, which was held in 2019, and we are here at the first question. Which of one of the following sentences is correctly method? The first option is in India, consideration must follow from promisee only. Second option is in India, consideration must follow from only promiser or only promisee. Third option is in India, consideration must follow from promiser or any other person. So, as you can see by the mere look at this question, we can understand that this question is from the Indian Contract Act. But how do we understand as to where do we find this answer? So you first of all you need to be very clear with the basic basic understanding of contract law. You will find this answer in the first few sections of Indian Contract Act itself, but you cannot go on reading each each section one by one to actually deduct this answer because that will take you more than 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, and you do not have that much time. So it's very important that you understand. That is where I mentioned that you need to understand certain concepts. There's certain conceptual questions that you need to know beforehand. So, the answer to this question is the fourth one. And fourth option, wherein it's saying in India, consideration must follow from promisee or any other person. Now, consideration can come from the promisee or any other person on behalf of the promisee. So, that is the first question. Second question, if you look at, it's talking about assertion and reason. So this is another type of question that we frequently see in the AIBE papers. Now this question is the assertion is collateral transactions to wagering are valid and reason is only wagering agreements are declared void under section 30 of the Indian Contract Act. Now this question is specifically from section 30 of the Indian Contract Act. However, you need to understand what are the different kinds of contracts and the essentials of those. So again, this question you will find in the Contract Act, but you need to be aware of the basic.
So here they are just telling that I'm sorry, I don't have a holder, so that's why it's just moving. So they're just sharing the information about the syllabus and how the subjects have been updated in the new bar hacker, in the new All India Bar exam. So the division before 2012 is completely different. Due to excessive importance accorded to certain subjects in the syllabus, it is still possible to have a very high chance of success if one prepared around 7 to 9 subjects thoroughly. If you can prepare 7 to 9 subjects very thoroughly, they're telling that there is a 100% chance or a high chance of getting your bar exam clear. Therefore, earlier strategy of preparing for limited subjects needs to be modified since there are more subjects prescribed in the syllabus and the Deviations in the weightage of the subject has also been reduced. One is required to prepare for more subjects to ensure a reasonable chance of subject. It is still possible to identify subjects which can master in relatively less time. For example, evidence or cyber laws is much easier to master than public interest litigation, administrative law, or labor laws, explained in detail later in the report. Absence of reading material and detailed syllabus. While students who had attempted the previous editions of the exam did not have a syllabus either, they have reading materials to rely on. They were expected to read reading materials as some kind of textbook for entire syllabus. 90 to 95% of the questions would be based on reading material. Now, after the change in the paper pattern, there is a complete absence of reading materials or indicative syllabus will make the task of the preparation even more difficult. So the list of 19 subjects provided by the Bar Council is not really a syllabus. You need to decide to what extent you should study the subjects mentioned in the subject list provided in BCI. Types and arrangement of questions. This is very important. Earlier, there was an expectation that at least some questions will test conceptual knowledge. At least the problem-based questions were successful in achieving this purpose. There have barely been a handful of questions in the fourth and fifth and the sixth bar exams which test how you apply legal principles to a problem. In fact, many questions in the past bar exams have tested arcane, astrotic knowledge about the law. They may be more suited towards a jurisprudence quiz context or obscure tort laws or where PhDs compete with each other. Even practicing advocates are likely to get such questions wrong. For example, a question on constitutional law actually asked what Ambedkar said about particular part of constitution and not constitution itself. When you when you begin preparing, there could be confusing and even misleading, and that's what is happening right now with me. Surprisingly, there were many such questions in fourth, fifth, and sixth bar exams. Some questions are extremely vague, while others are extremely technical. We shall be providing you detailed study material on different type of questions on the Bar Hacker platform. There are plenty of questions which test knowledge of section numbers of different legislations. The Bar Hacker materials will discuss strategies to tackle such questions if they come in the bar exams. In this report, we'll analyze the new test papers and try to explain skills being tested under the new format so that your preparation is based on solid grounding. 6 steps to creating your own presentation strategy to ace the bar exam. So these are the 6 real steps. That's what he's telling. In the light of the type of the questions that have been asked and the fact that there are no prescribed study material anymore, many practicing lawyers would fail in this exam if they were required to answer all questions from memory. Thankfully, you're allowed to carry study materials. You must use this to your advantage. That's what I was actually thinking. Yeah, it's an open books exam and we can actually use all the study materials given to us. But how? Because the time is very limited. There are 100 questions, and how we actually can do that is the biggest question. So understand the different types of questions asked. This is very important. We need to really understand what are the possible questions that can be asked in this exam. So in the light of the type of the questions that have been asked and the fact that there is no prescribed study materials, so we need to really look into what kind of questions will be asked. Before commencing preparation, it is essential to understand the types of the questions as per the new format. This is very important. I am also going to work on what types of questions asked so that you can prepare for answering each type of question. While you provide by-heart test students with a report on the different types of questions asked, it's also advisable to develop familiarity with different types of questions by going through a model test paper, question paper. Identify the skills tested by each of the question. This is also very important. What are the kind of the skill sets that's been tested? While going through the question papers, many students attempted to learn the answers to the question paper and look them up from the books. This strategy does not help you in effectively tackling the task at hand, especially since it's an open book exam. Instead, when you go through the question paper, try to identify different types of skills that's been tested by each type of a question to start with. For example, do the questions test your knowledge of the provisions of the WARE Act? So his telling is the questions trying to test our knowledge of the provisions of the BRAT. Are there any questions directly taken from the illustrations? Do the papers contain problem based questions? Do the question test your knowledge of concepts? Are there any questions testing knowledge of case laws? Are there any general knowledge based questions? So, this is very important. What is that they are trying to test us on? And the third thing is prioritize your preparation according to the relative importance of different subjects in the bar exam. Although the syllabus of 15th bar exam has evened out disparities in the weightage given to different subjects, you can still strategize smartly and plan your preparation such that you cover maximum ground with maximum preparation. For example, evidence carries 8 marks. Indian Evidence Act is extremely small compared to Civil Procedure Code, which carries 10 marks, or Civil Law, which carries 2 marks, but is much easier to prepare for a comparison to a public interest litigation, which is 4 marks. Administrative Law is 3 marks. The subjects don't have any BRACs, but a huge body of principles to learn. And labor laws, it's just 4 marks, which requires study of huge number of BRACs for a comparative level of mastery over the subject. So, an optional preparation strategy requires that you prepare the following subjects first before moving to the other subjects.